Okay, so this is the first video that came up, was her cantering on the trail, and she picks up her right lead and she looks good. It's a little bit of a faster canter. She's slightly unbalanced. She leaned a little bit to the right when she kind of started off, and you'll see she's kind of leaning around the corner. So we'll see if she has any canter video in the arena, just to show if she picks up the other lead, or maybe there's more cantering on the trail. But you'll see right here, see how she kind of leans in? So nice, very nice horse. Just the canter's a little fast and looks a little bit unbalanced, but pretty good for a gaited horse. Okay, so this one is of her gaiting. It's more of like a flat walk, like the first gait. So it's a very slow gait. She's doing it correctly. And it looks like she's raising her head up when she's coming out of it, so maybe she's on the trotty side. She does wing her left front foot. You'll see that as she's coming closer to us. If it's not blurry, you can kind of see it a little bit there. So we'll see what other gait she has. Otherwise, that should just be her first gait. That's not her rocky gait. So this was her just walking from the back on a loose rein. She looks very quiet, but again, this is the place she grew up. So that's my only concern. Of any horse that's been on the same trails their whole life, they should be comfortable with them. If they're not, we're having problems. So to me, I'm going to turn the sound off. She looks calm. I don't like that they let her head go down so far, because she could grab some grass as she's browsing around, and you'll see she's kind of just looking all over the place. So yes, she's calm, she just doesn't look totally focused, but otherwise, again, I would expect her to be calm since she's been on these trails her whole life. You know, the question is, how is she going to be on different trails and in a different situation? So that's just showing another horse leaving. So she has a little bit of concern, but not bad. She's not doing anything bad at all as they're walking away. She is facing away from them. You know, there might be a difference if she was facing the other way. She might be more tempted to go. So here they're just doing a turn on the forehand, and then they do a turn on the haunches. So it looks like they trained her well. She's doing a nice turn, but watch her back legs. She does come down in her pasterns. They're a little low back there, and that makes the horses smoother. But as she turns, watch how far her fetlocks and pastern area kind of come down. Well, now she's doing the turn on the haunches, so you won't see as much. But see that right hind? So I'd like to see her move, you know, gaiting and moving around, and just see how far she comes down in those pasterns. But you can, you know, you get a vet check and you have a vet look at it and see what they think of it, because they can see it in person, how far she comes down, and is she coming down in both fetlocks evenly, or is one coming down in the other? But again, very pretty horse. Looks like it's pretty well trained so far. Okay, so here she's just doing some more turns, and again, she does them quite well. Not doing anything bad, but just keep watching her back legs. That's my only concern so far. She doesn't look like she comes down that much in her pasterns in the front. And then as you watch her back up, she's got a nice back up. Looks like, you know, a mare with a very sweet attitude, but you'll see her coming down a little bit in those pasterns. Okay, so here she's just doing a flat walk. She looks like she's more on the trotty side. You kind of keep seeing that V in her legs. And so they're not going very fast. There is, you know, it's a gait, but it's just her flat walk. I'm going to turn the sound off. And then when there, she's getting a little bit more trotty as she's going faster. She kind of went towards a foxtrot. Many Rockies do trot, and they do a foxtrot. When she goes to canter, now she's hard trotting, so she didn't pick it up from a walk. She's going to pick it up from a trot. That's what she knows so far. And then it's just watching, again, those back legs and how far she's kind of coming down. But she's got a nice canter, it's slow, and she looks better balanced here in the arena than she did actually on the trail. So she did very well for the small space that they have. So here she's going the other direction. And again, she's just flat walking. But they are in a very small arena, so they don't have a lot of room to really get her going. There she's going a little bit more towards a foxtrot as they sped her up. She does swing her head a lot all over the place. A lot of horses do that when they're trotty or going towards a foxtrot, but if they just had a little bit more contact, she probably wouldn't do that. But this is nice. She picks up both leads, so there's her left lead, because before we only saw her right lead. And again, she's staying pretty balanced. She's got pretty good self-carriage. She's still coming down on those back legs, though. So this was them just getting on at the mounting block. They didn't show her going up to the mounting block, but she is standing quite good, so she looks very calm and used to that. So, of course, none of this stuff is bothering her. They didn't really pull the branches down or break them over her head or anything. They're just wiggling them around, and I would hope she would be good with that, because you duck under trees when you're on trail usually, but at least it shows she's not spooky and she doesn't care. But there's a water trough there, so she probably gets turned out in that arena a fair amount, or it's in her pasture. So I wouldn't expect her to be too afraid of it. So here she's going down the street. You can see her hind legs a little bit better, how she comes down in them, but she looks very calm for going down the road all by herself. I mean, she looks like a very sweet, nice mare. And she's probably fine with traffic, but we don't see any traffic. We don't see any bikes. We don't see any hikers or dogs or anything like that. So I can't give you any advice on that because we don't see it. And there she's going a little faster, and she's going a little bit more towards the trotty side. But again, many Rockies will fox trot, so we'll see. I saw some other videos come up, so I'll go back and look at those. They weren't ones you sent me, but it looked like they had some other videos of her. So here they were just doing her girth, and she doesn't look girthy or anything like that. She's standing nice and still. They definitely put some good training on her. So here they're actually going faster. Now you'll see her head is up, and she is doing her rocky gait, so that's good to see. So that person is riding her with more contact and her head up to get her into that lateral gait. And then I'll slow it down just so you can see her hind legs a little bit more. But she looks like she's pretty smooth. So I'll look back. I'm not sure if this is the same exact video or not. This is from 2018, so she was 5 years old then, and it looked like she was for sale. So I don't know if they just changed their mind. Here she's opening some gates. So she's doing that very nicely. Yep, so she knows how to side pass and do the gate, so that's great. And so this was back in, it's the same rider, so back in 2018, and she was doing her rocky gait in the arena. There she's got a nice right lead canter. So this one was from 2024, at least that's what it says on the video. So she was doing her rocky gait there, and she was doing it pretty well. Okay, so the only thing that concerns me as she's moving is just those back fetlocks. And the left hind comes a little bit lower than the right. So that would just be a vet check and them checking and see what they think of the situation. Overall, I think it's a very nice horse. She looks like she's well trained. She looks like she has a very nice attitude. And she looks like she has smooth gait. You just have to ride her with some contact and keep her head up, and that's what you usually have to do with the trotty ones. My only concerns are that she's been at the same home all her life, and she hasn't been trailered. So if she trailers far and they don't practice it ahead of time, that could be a big stress on the horse. So you might want to see if you do buy her, if they would practice ahead of time to make sure that she's okay. The other thing is she's used to all these trails, and she's used to being with her mother. Her mother's been with her all her life. So we don't know when she leaves that situation, how long is it going to take her to adjust? Is she going to adjust very easily, or is she going to have meltdowns because she's been taken away from her family and her friends that she's always known? So the fact she has been camping or trailering or going to other places is a little bit of a concern that you might want to talk with them about it. The other thing I would check is it looked like she was for sale when she was 5. So to ask them why she was for sale, or did somebody buy her and then she came back for a certain reason. And then also to ask if, like how she does on hills, because we don't see her on any hills. I don't know if you have hills to ride. Some of the Rockies will have some stifle issues, especially if they've not been on hills all their life. I didn't see any on the trails. So you want to see how she goes up and down hills if that's what you're riding on, and how she's going to deal with that. But just know the adjustment period for her leaving a home she's always been at to a new home, it could take her 6 months or a year really to get used to it and to come back to this calm horse. I would also ask why she needs an intermediate rider. She doesn't look really fast in any of these videos or like she's acting up. So you just want to check so you make sure that you're aware of any things that she could possibly do. And then again, she might be fine with traffic and dogs and hikers and bikes, but we didn't see any of those things. So you just want to check with those things. If you are going to have busy trails, maybe they could get you some video so you're sure that she can handle those things. They seem like they're very honest and have shown you everything she knows, but it's always good to just check with them. And I always tell people no horse is perfect. So she's a very pretty mare. Looks like she's a nice mare. She's got nice gait. She has good training. So the fact she comes down in her fetlocks, I'm not surprised, because every horse has something. So you just have to see, is that something that you can deal with? Does the vet think it's going to be an issue? And tell them what kind of trails you're going to work on so they can tell you if it's something she could do or not. But overall, very nice horse.